I'm following pop culture, celebrity news, stories like that. This year's from Newsweek. It's from August 9th, 2022. It's called Amber Heard supporters boycott Milani Cosmetics and demand apology. I think most of us know why, but let's get into it. Milani Cosmetics is the latest target of the fury of Amber Heard supporters after they called for the company to apologize to the actress. During the recent defamation trial between her and her ex-husband Johnny Depp, Milani Cosmetics posted a TikTok video that went viral, seemingly contradicting testimony presented by Heard's legal team, which it did. Attorney Elaine Brennenhoff had suggested Heard used a certain product by Milani Cosmetics to cover bruises caused by Depp, but Milani said that the product she presented during the trial wasn't in existence until the year after the pair divorced. The campaigning Twitter account Leave Heard Alone created a thorough thread and explained how Milani Cosmetics overstepped the line during the trial, called for people to boycott the brand, and asked for them to apologize. Well, if it's true, then alright, I can see a little bit of sensitivity about a company not involved directly getting involved, but in the end, a fact is a fact, and if they point out a fact, then there's really nothing wrong with that. We're in court to go by facts. Debunking the Milani Cosmetics myth, the post begins, why we think Milani Cosmetics should be held accountable. Look at that language. Debunking the myth. Who is this written for? Like junior high school kids who are going to be like, oh, it's a myth, it's debunked, oh wow, Newsday, you got a great story here. Just stick with the facts and the evidence that you actually have on your side, which is not so much, but whatever you got, stop using these buzzwords. Leave Heard Alone went through the stages of the case chronologically, recalling the first moment Brennenhoff held up a Milani Cosmetics conceal plus perfect color correction palette. I guess they meant held up, not help up, but I guess Newsweek has trouble telling apart D's and P's because they have trouble between fact and fiction too, so alright, I can see what happened there. She presented it during her opening argument stating, this is what Amber Heard carried in her purse for her entire relationship with Johnny Depp. Maybe, if you say so. Hey, look, everyone's different, but I never have like something on me for the entirety of like years, except maybe I always have my wallet and my car keys, but I don't know. I guess women have more in their purse and stuff. I just think it's a stretch to think she always carried it everywhere she happened to need it. That's just my opinion on that, though. And here's the actual tweet from Leave Heard Alone. And I gotta say, I gotta admit, I see more support for Amber tweets like this than I did before the Virginia case. I guess just billions of people flooding YouTube, social media, and things like that just by sheer numbers got more people to engage with these tweets. But, I mean, it's not like a huge number. 425 likes is not like blowing up. It's not huge. 9 days later, Milani posted its TikTok video, which has now been viewed over 5 million times, claiming it had debunked Brennenhoff's evidence. It stated that the product Heard's attorney presented was not on the US market during the couple's relationship. But there was nothing to debunk, because the Milani palette was just a piece of demonstrative evidence. And it continues. They went on to explain that demonstrative evidence should not be considered hard evidence and that the item held up by Brennenhoff was simply used as a prop to help remind the jury of what the lawyer's arguments were. Wait, I'm confused. So she said it was what Amber Heard actually used in court to everybody watching, but then it's just a prop to kind of give you an idea of what she uses, if I'm getting that right. The same Milani palette returned during the case as Heard gave her testimony. This time, Heard made it clear that the item was not the exact palette she used. The Twitter user stated that this makes clear that Milani Cosmetics jumped the gun in accusing Heard of lying as they didn't understand the use of a courtroom prop. The other problem is when someone actually gets beat to the point that Amber Heard was claiming, they've got bruises that are too big to hide from a little color palette like that. That color palette does make sense to be something you put on your face to make red marks and things like that. If you talk to real abuse victims, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, they're out there. They'll tell you when they actually really got abused and went to the hospital and actually had consequences, they could not hide it with little makeup. That's the fact that I guess Amber stands don't understand scientifically and medically. There's not more to say except you guys are wrong and that's it. Milani inserted themselves into a trial which concerned domestic violence and mocked Amber Heard. Leave her alone, wrote they should apologize for their mistake and take some responsibility. I'm not sure mocking is the correct word. I don't have their tweet offhand, but I don't think they used the Amber T word or whatever, scambler or, whatever they say. They just presented the evidence. I could be wrong, but from what I recall, it was, pretty, let's just say professional tweet. Professional looking, mature tweet. The multi-tweet thread caused mass discussion between Heard and Depp supporters in the comment section as many posts have before it. So essentially, Elaine, an experienced lawyer, I guess she's a lawyer for experience, not an experienced lawyer, looks like mistake number 2, made an error here by not stating this was a prop. So it was Elaine's fault. She forgot to say it was a prop. Amber's truthful. It's just that her lawyer screwed up. Of course. Oh, I'm convinced now. Wow. Good job. You guys really changed my mind. Why hold Milani Cosmetics accountable instead of Amber Heard? Asked another user. Yeah, exactly. They didn't do nothing. On August 3rd, the Milani Cosmetics brand Twitter account was ratioed online after it promoted its new viral lipstick. Writer and activist, whatever that means these days, Rosin Tolleson tweeted, "For your information, you're getting ratioed because you enabled an abuser's smear campaign," while sharing a tweet relating to the salacious unsealed documents. Okay, so if you're not familiar, ratioed means it used to be likes and dislikes, but Twitter doesn't have those, YouTube doesn't have those anymore. But if you read the comment sections, you could see what amount the comments are positive and negative and judge it that way. So if this is true, if the sample size is big enough, and Milani did get ratioed in support for Amber, it might be because Amber fans were following that a little bit closer. Johnny fans had not really had that in the forefront of their mind. Amber Heard didn't even mention your brand, and yet you chose to humiliate a victim of abuse on the world stage like it was some joke. But wait, what the effing hell are we talking about? Amber was proved to be the abuser, not a victim of abuse. So these people are spreading more misinformation and defamation according to law in the US, which is a much better trustable source than I think these people on Twitter, especially in this case with a 6-week trial and a jury. Ivana E. received thousands of likes for her criticism of Milani and continued, "You were the first domino. She deserves an apology." An apology for defaming Johnny, lying, abusing him? Sometimes it just feels like these people are living in the Twilight Zone. And they're typing from there and they can't get out, and their words just get distorted once they hit reality. Here it is here, 427 likes. Okay, not so great. That, to me, means 5,000 to possibly 9,000 views, which is something, but not so much. And they end here. Though the Depp and Heard defamation trial ended on June 1st with the jury largely siding with Depp, more details from the case have emerged since unsealed documents were released at the end of July, and Newsweek, being us, report on none of the negativity about Amber. They want it to seem like a 6,000-page document largely says that Amber was innocent. Wait a minute. Out of all these reports, 3 articles a day, where's the negativity about Amber? There's plenty of it in there in those unsealed documents. So if Newsweek is going to have this kind of bias, their word don't mean much. I mean, look, if they wrote like 4 articles a day and 2 were pro Johnny, 2 were pro Amber, I might listen to them more. But if it's like, 9 to 1, 1 being good about Johnny, 9 being good about Amber, well, how can we trust them? The answer is we can't. Anyway, if you're not subscribed to, consider it. I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that. Shout out to Jan Price and Cindy Bryden. Thanks to articles lately. And if you don't subscribe here, I guess it'll be sad. But I'll get over it. Rant done for now. See you next time.